Well, Thomas was digging in to some really exciting news that we had the privilege of getting here last week. And I'm not going to go into the details here myself. I'm going to let our research and development specialist, Martina Torrissen, reveal it, because she is for sure one of the people that we need to give the highest credit to, that this is now live. Now, many of you've met Martina before. She has a bachelor and a master's degree in nutrition, complemented by a PhD in the animal and aquacultural science, and her main and special interests are within omega-3. And she's done such an extensive work, over a long period of time with what she's going to go into here today. And I know that you're going to be thrilled. You're going to be so excited. So I want you all to put your hands together for Martina as she's presenting our latest reveal.
Thank you so much, Hilda. So you saw a little sneak peek from Thomas, and this is what I will be digging into now. And I'm very excited to share the results of actually the largest study ever conducted on omega-3 fatty acid status using a single standardized testing method, which is based on over 500,000 BalanceTest results collected worldwide and from our own in-house data. But before I dive into all of this, I just want to start by emphasizing that this work, it exists because of all of you. Every test that you have sold and every customer reached, all of it has added up into something extraordinary. Because together we have built one of the largest fatty acid databases in the world. So this study is a milestone for us, for all of us. For the first time, we have published this data in a respected peer-reviewed scientific journal called Lipids in Health and Disease. And this has been a collaboration between our in-house research team and our scientific advisory board and our independent analytical lab, where we've had amazing contributions from Thomas Gundersen as well. So this is not just a publication. It is proof that we are shaping global nutrition science with real-world evidence from our own network. And a key point that I would like to start off with is that all of the results in this study, they are from what we call typical first testers, meaning people who are not reporting that they take any omega-3 supplements, or those who report that they take other brand omega-3 supplements than balance oil. So this means that the data in this study is from people who have not yet started to take balance oil. So what we're seeing here is a pure snapshot of the world's fatty acid status before we've done anything. So that's important. It shows the problem before our solution. And since this data set is so large, it's not just another study that we've added to the literature. It is actually a global reference point. And then, why does this matter, you may ask? Well, we all know that omega-3 fatty acids, and especially EPA and DHA, are essential for health. And yet there is this problem. The majority of the global population is not achieving optimal blood levels. In other words, most people, they are simply not getting enough omega-3. Public health guidelines, they recommend higher intakes, but we also know that diets, they vary enormously, both by culture and countries. We know that some populations, they eat fish regularly, whereas others hardly at all. And even if supplementation is promoted, the actual omega-3 status of individuals or even of entire populations is largely unknown without an objective measurement. And this is not just about the omega-3s alone, because we also know that both the omega-6 and the omega-3 fatty acids are essential, but they must be in balance. And in today's dietary landscape, most people, they consume far too much omega-6 and then too little omega-3. And this imbalance has led to suboptimal tissue levels and also a skewed omega-6 to omega-3 ratio across the globe. And that's where our testing comes in. Accurate, large-scale measurement is critical in order to address this gap and reveal the imbalances of the world. So the BalanceTest provides exactly that, a scientifically validated, standardized, and scalable method to assess omega-3 status and omega-6 and omega-3 balance, all from this simple dried blood spot test. It delivers, as you saw from Thomas, precise, reproducible results that also allows both individuals and also health professionals to track nutritional status and also guide targeted evidence-based interventions for improved results. And this is why the focus of this specific paper specifically focused on omega-3 levels and the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, because we know that imbalance contributes to chronic low-grade inflammation and increased risk for multiple chronic conditions, which of course is why our mission is so important, to bring balance back. So the focus of this paper was on the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, which captures the overall dietary balance, and then also the arachidonic acid to EPA ratio, as this is more a direct influence of the inflammatory pathways, which makes this marker a more mechanistic marker of risk for inflammation, and then also, of course, the omega-3 levels. So what this study shows is a widespread prevalence of imbalance between the omega-6 and omega-3, and also a low omega-3 levels. It shows this among people not taking omega-3 supplements, and even among people who report taking other omega-3 supplements than balance oil. So what this also does is that it tells us something important, which is that not all omega-3 products delivers the effects that they promise. And something that is also strikingly visible in this study is seeing the variability around the world. We see that in Northern Europe, people are closer to balance, partly due to higher fish intake. And also in Japan, where seafood is a cultural staple, the omega-3 levels are naturally higher. But then in most other regions, especially North America and part of Europe, we see a clear deficiency. And this contrast makes the problem visible. It tells us that diet matters and culture matters. And most of all, globally, most people are not getting enough omega-3. So what this study does is that it demonstrates that the majority of the world's population is not in balance. And this is the market that we need to address. So since information on other types of omega-3 supplements, including type, dosage, formulation, and also adherence, were not part of this evaluation, these data, they are captured only as a generalized supplement use. And it might seem counterintuitive to some of you at first glance, but we have a clear strategy behind this. And since I've now told you that balance oil users were not included in this study, you know that we also have more data, and we are working on this and planning to roll this out. And what this study has done now is that it has set the stage for future studies to explore whether enhanced formulations such as balance oil will achieve different and potentially more optimal outcomes than the ones you can see in this baseline analysis. So the results, they establish a scientifically robust global baseline with a clear view of the omega-3 and omega-6 to omega-3 status before an exposure to a targeted enhanced formulation. And this baseline, it also reinforces the importance not only of formulation, dosage, and sustained use, but also the importance of regular testing in order to ensure and confirm adequacy. And this also aligns with our test-based nutrition strategy, which moves away from guesswork towards measurable, personalized outcomes. And it also creates the reference point for evaluating how more advanced delivery systems and synergistic nutrient combinations can potentially shift population averages towards more optimal ranges. So the findings in this study, they emphasize the need for measurable, individualized nutrition, the public health potential of large-scale fatty acid testing, and also the unique value of Zinzino's global database. And this study, it does some important things. It proves that there is a global imbalance problem, and it's huge. And because these were all first testers, we know that it's not because of balance oil, it's because of the world's diets. And that is powerful for conversations. It also gives us independent peer review proof of this. We now have the scientific credibility to talk about it in a peer review way. And this is the beauty of what we are doing. First, we show the problem with the test, and then we provide a scientifically designed solution with balance oil, and finally, we prove the effect with the retests. So this paper, it is step 1. It defines the problem with independent proof. And then the next paper that we're working on will be about the solution, showing how balance oil with its unique combination of omega-3s and polyphenol-rich extra virgin olive oil for stability, absorption, and efficacy can achieve far better outcomes than what we see in this baseline analysis. So I just want to finish by saying this. This is not just a study, but it's also a tool for you. It's a way to start conversations, to build trust, and to show why balance oil is needed everywhere. The science now shows just how big this starting problem is. It shows the real baseline, the world is out of balance, and it proves the need for solutions like balance oil. And with our tests, our products, and our data, we can show the world the problem and also set the stage for later where we can also demonstrate the solution. And all of this, it positions us also at the forefront of global nutrition science. This study is not the end. It is just the beginning. We know our database is a living, growing scientific asset, and it allows us to do so much more, to evaluate new formulations, to run future studies, and to build partnerships with universities. And every single test sold, it expands not just our business, but also our contribution to global science. So we're not only improving individual lives, we are building the evidence base that will shape the future of global health. So with that, I think I should thank all of you for all of what you're doing, for all the amazing work that makes all of this possible. So thank you.